When I was a kid playing ball in Little League, we didn't have a fancy stadium, and there were no big crowds. But I never missed those kinds of things. But I can always remember thinking someday, maybe, I'll get to play under lights.
It's a game. It's a science. It's an art. From vacant lots and schoolyards to the vast stadiums of America's great cities, it is truly our national pastime. But in a game enjoyed by millions, only a few have ever attained greatness. And fewer still have ever played with the all-around skill and sheer determination of Tony Gwynn.
You know he's going to get his. I mean, there's really nothing you can do about it.
Tony Gwynn, who's he?
He's a class individual. I would say he's definitely a Hall of Fame candidate.
Tony Gwynn.
He's a workaholic.
How much better can you get?
Tony does it all.
They call him the total ball player. In the next half hour, Tony's going to share his knowledge of batting, the secret of the swing, and his enthusiasm for the game with you. You're going to learn the fundamentals and techniques that will make you a winner. You're going to experience what it's like to be a major leaguer and see how top hitters and fielders succeed year after year in America's most challenging sport. But most of all, you're going to get to know one of the finest all-around players in the game today. This is Tony Gwynn's Total Baseball, Volume 1, The King of Swing.
You know, when I entered the major leagues, I didn't feel very major league. But I vowed to work hard. Never stop taking ground balls, fly balls, extra hitting, working on my base running. I vowed never to stop improving. Baseball is what I do. It's how I make a living. Come on in. I'd like to show you something. How serious am I about baseball? I must have over 500 hours of tape. And these are just a few of them. Tapes on base running, hitting, defense. All my performances. The pitchers that I face, how they play me. I use them to study how I play, and I try to improve. You know, baseball is a highly mental sport. Strategies and decisions, maintaining a winning attitude. If it's not mental, then what's he doing? Baseball is subtle and brutal. But the total game of baseball is a work of art.
When we were in the home together, there was always something going on.
Being the middle son like me, I always got blamed for everything.
Tony liked to see what he could get away with a lot.
Whenever there was a broken lamp around, I was the one to get blamed.
You never knew what was going to happen.
My parents raised me and my brothers to have pride in whatever we chose to do.
They did a lot for us.
And I thank them for teaching us about working hard, because working hard is the key to success.
When it's time to work, you know, he gets serious and he goes out there and does his job.
I always compete intensely, and I'm always out to win. Feeling like a winner, the mark of a major leaguer. But there's more to it than that. Let me tell you a story. Last year, Will Clark and I were battling for the batting title. And after a poor first night, I went 6 for 8 the last 2 games to win the title. Now, as I got my last hit in my last at-bat, I rounded first base. And Will Clark came over, patted me on my chest, shook my hand, told me congratulations. Now that's the mark of a major leaguer. Yeah, I'm living a dream I had when I was a kid. But you can't expect to wave a magic wand and be successful. Hitting is a science. There are 5 basic keys to that science. Being comfortable, as in your stance. Control, as in the bat you use. Prepared, being mentally and physically prepared to do your job. Concentration, as in being focused in everything we do. And most of all, contact. Putting the ball in play. Now, as we go, Greg Riddock, first base coach of the San Diego Padres, is going to show us total baseball. Now, he is a student of the game, and I've learned a lot under Greg, and we still work together today. Hello, Greg.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Real good.
Tony, I'd like to introduce you to some other members of the team. This is Casey.
Hello, Casey.
This is John. This is Randy. Come on over here. And Tony, let me introduce you to some real special guests. Down front here we have Michael. Above Michael we have Jamie. The top of the back row is Bruce. And to Bruce's left is Heather. On her left she's flanked by Jose. And the man with the ear-to-ear grin is Keith. Flexibility is one of the most important aspects of baseball. It's important that you understand that you should stretch prior to your activity and at the end of the day after the activity is over with. We have a few examples behind me here that will demonstrate some of the proper things that you should do. This is a good example of an exercise you can use for your hamstrings and your quads. The next one's a great example of stretching the groin area, both left and right. The following one does the same thing. You'll notice how he pushes out with the elbows gently. This exercise is used to stretch the arm muscles. And this one here is used to stretch the Achilles tendon area in the lower part of the leg.
Let's grab a bat and get started. This first bat is too heavy for me. This is what in the big leagues we would call a telephone pole. And because it's too heavy for me, I'm not even going to think about using it. This next bat is an aluminum bat. And in the major leagues, we're not allowed to use this bat. And I'm sure everyone here has used this bat. Now with the aluminum bat, you're going to get more bat and less weight. And that's going to generate more bat speed and more plate coverage. But I like to use wood bats. Ever since I've had a wood bat and used it and hit with it, I've never wanted to swing anything else. I wouldn't want to go back to aluminum. This is the kind of bat that I would like to use. Now let me ask you a question. Which one of these bats do you think is my bat?
The big one.
It's the little one. It's the pea shooter. It's the Tony Gwynn special. This is my bat. Now my bat's 32.5 inches, 31 ounces. And the reason why I use this bat is for control. When I go up to the plate, I want to control where I hit the ball, how I hit the ball. And with a little bat, I feel like I'm able to do that. So remember, if you grab a bat that's too heavy for you, you're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do at the plate. You'd rather go up to the plate with a bat that's lighter, because a lighter bat is a quicker bat, and you're going to have more control with it. If you go up with a heavier bat, you're not going to be able to control it.
What about batting gloves?
Well, I started out wearing batting gloves because it was cold outside. But over the years, I've found that wearing batting gloves are going to help you save your hands. You're not going to get as many blisters, because when you're a guy like me, I take 200 to 300 swings a day. And by wearing gloves, I'm going to save my hands from blisters.
Never mind the home runs. Tell me about the game-winning hits. And that's the kind of a guy Gwynn is. Whenever he's up at home plate and you're a pitcher, you got a problem.
Well, he's probably the hardest worker I've ever been associated with in baseball. I think my highlight of my career was getting him out every time, one time in one game.
Now, once you get in the on-deck circle, you're either going to want to grab a donut or grab a couple bats, put it on your bat, and take a few practice swings. And while you're swinging, you want to concentrate on swinging down on the ball, loosening your muscles, loosening the upper body. Nice and easy. But then after you warmed up, take your donut off the bat, you're going to find that your bat's going to be a lot lighter. And then the next thing you want to do is concentrate on what's going on out in the game. Concentrate on the pitcher, what he's throwing to hitters, where's his release point. See how many men are on base. What's the game situation? How many outs are there? Forget the crowd. Forget the girls. Forget the hot dog vendor. You might be hungry, but you can get one later. And most important, don't forget, batting helmet. I get up in the morning and grab the newspaper to take a look at who's pitching that day. I go into the video room, pull out the video, take a look at it, just to get an idea what kind of pitches he throws, what kind of movement they have on him, so that when I go to the ballpark at 2 o'clock and I go there to start my work, I've got an idea of what I'm going to see that night and how I'm going to prepare myself for what I'm going to see that night. Now remember, when you get into the batter's box, the one word to think about here is concentration. Because the pitcher is trying to get you out, and he's throwing the ball hard, and you have to concentrate on the ball in order to hit it. Now you're going to see a lot of different stances up here. Take a look at Rod Carew, Wade Boggs, Kirby Puckett. These guys are major league players, so it must be working for them. Now once you're in the box, you're going to see guys standing in the back of the box trying to get a longer look at the ball. You're going to see guys stand up here in the front of the box trying to hit the breaking ball or the off-speed pitch before the break. You're going to see some guys use an open stance where their front foot is away from the plate. You're going to see the closed stance where their front foot is closer to the plate. Okay, my stance is a very basic stance. My feet are parallel, my knees are slightly bent in a relaxed position because hitting is being comfortable. I want to be as relaxed as I can in order to hit the baseball. When you swing, the weight is going to be on the back foot so that you have something to push the bat through the zone, to shift your weight from the back to the front. Let's talk about the grip. Your knuckles should be lined up in a row. A lot of guys in the big leagues and in baseball in general like to choke their bat, and you'll see a grip like that, where these knuckles right here and these knuckles right here are lined up. But basically, I think it's easier to swing a bat when these knuckles right here are lined up, because that way you're going to have a nice, relaxed grip and a nice, smooth swing.
Relaxation is a must when it comes to hitting. You cannot have your muscles tensed up and execute properly. If your hands are squeezing the bat so hard that you're squeezing the sawdust out of it, there's no way that you can execute. If your arms are tight, if your legs are tight, the most important thing for you to remember is that you need to be relaxed at the plate so that the muscles can fire properly.
Well, growing up, my idol was Willie Davis, and he was the guy that, bar none. When I went to Dodger Stadium, he was the guy I went to see. I didn't go to see, the Willie Mazes and the Hank Aaron's, and I mean, although they were great players, Willie Davis was the guy that I looked up to. And I know, growing up as a kid, everything that Willie Davis did, I tried to do. I tried to hit like him. I wanted to wear his number. I wanted to do all the things that he did. He did whatever it took to help his team win. And that, I think, I still carry with me today. That's what I will do. I will move a runner up. I will sacrifice. I will, hit a ball to the right side to get him over. I will do whatever it takes to help my team win. Basically, there are two kinds of hitters, the power hitter and the contact hitter. Power hitters like Kevin Mitchell, Glenn Davis, Dale Murphy are guys looking to make consistent contact out in front of the plate. Myself, I'm a contact hitter. I'm a guy who's looking to put the bat on the baseball, hit the ball hard, and basically take what's given to me. I'm not looking to hit the ball out of the park, so I'm not going to hit a lot of home runs, but I'm going to be harder to strike out because I'm trying to consistently put my bat on the ball. And when you're trying to hit the ball back here, you've got a longer look at the ball. If you can wait a little bit longer, you're going to make consistent contact. Power hitter, when he takes his swing, the path of the bat, the majority of the time is only going to cover half to 2/3 of the plate. Whereas the contact hitter swing is going to be a swing where he can cover the entire plate through the path of his swing.
As Tony mentioned, it's important to understand whether you're a power hitter or a contact hitter. Jose, you want to come in and demonstrate? Jose is going to demonstrate that a power hitter hits the ball out front. You notice and see where the ball is in relationship to the bat. Contact hitters let the ball get a little bit deeper in, see the ball a little bit longer, and hit the ball further back in and back through the middle. That's the basic difference between a power hitter and a contact hitter. Jose is an example of a boy who's considered a power hitter for a boy who's 12 years old. Mike is another example of a boy who might be recognized as kind of a power hitter for his age. He's 11 years old and has big, strong arms and big, strong legs and hits the ball pretty far for a young boy. Notice Keith is a boy with a smaller frame, not as big as the other people, and does not hit the ball real far. He's what we would classify as a contact hitter, someone who just basically tries to put the bat on the ball each time at the plate.
So my job as a contact hitter is to put the ball in play. And when the defense knows you can do that, boy, you keep them off guard. Pitchers begin to think too much. The infielders with runners on have to stay close, and that opens up holes for you. So even before I get to the plate, I've got them worried. Intimidation, that's a big part of the mental game. So make a decision. Which type of hitter are you? Power or contact? Try to stick to one till you master it. Then work on the other. But hey, I'm like anybody else. I enjoy hitting home runs, jogging around the bases, high fives, the big headlines. But I try to do what I do best, to help my ball club win.
When most of the other players go home, or when most of the other players come to the ballpark, there's either somebody there working before they get there or working after they leave, and it's Tony Gwynn. And that's something that when I'm trying to impress a young player, I'll say, if you really want to see what it takes, just very quietly watch the way that Tony Gwynn goes through a workout every single day, and you'll see why he has made himself what he is today.
This man probably puts more time in on hitting than any person, any 15 persons in the game today.
I think the biggest message that he's taught everybody, not just me, is that whatever you want to do, if you work hard enough and put in the hours that it takes to be good, you can definitely do what you want to do.
He's going to work hard every day. He's never going to quit. He's never satisfied. He's going to keep pushing till he retires from baseball.
Okay, let's start swinging. Be decisive with your stride. You want to land in the same spot every time. And you want to land on the ball of your foot every time. Not on your heel, not flat-footed, not away from the ball. You want to land in the same spot on the ball of your foot. When that stride foot lands, your hands should be going back or they should be going up. If your hands come forward, you've got nothing left to swing the bat with. And the very best you're going to do is be able to fight a pitch off the opposite field. Okay, so remember, when your stride foot lands, your hands have got to go back. They can't come forward.
Tony Gwynn is one of the outstanding players I've ever seen in my 29 years in the major leagues. He knows what he's trying to do. He has a great knowledge of the strike zone.
And there he swings a long, deep drive, left center field. Back, it's going, it's gone. Tony Gwynn for the first home run of the year, circling the bases.
Now let's work on a swing. There's a stride, hips and hands to the ball, follow through, finish high, and the weight will transfer from the back to the front. Now let's talk about the head, because the head is so important when you swing the bat. You want to keep your head as still as possible. And one good thing to remember when you're swinging a bat is when you're in your stance, your chin is over your front shoulder. And after you take a swing, it's over the back shoulder. And we call it shoulder to shoulder. And that's one way to check to find out if you're doing the same thing consistently over and over. It's over the front shoulder, you take your swing, and it's over the back shoulder. When I'm hitting the ball good, I know exactly why I'm hitting the ball good. And when I go into a slump, the last thing I want to hear people say is, you know, Tony, you're struggling a little bit. Why don't you change your stance? Why don't you change your stride? Why don't you change your bat? Because I want to be consistent, and I want to have the same approach every time I swing the bat. And when, you know, for the kids watching at home, when you're in a slump, the biggest mistake you can make is making changes.
Road trips have always been tough. ever since baseball or any sport started, I think, because if you're married and you have kids, you know, you miss your family.
The road is very demanding. This flying in, you're in suitcases and out of suitcases every 2 or 3 days. And flying cross country really wears on a major league ball player.
Tony Gwynn's family stays with him more than any player in our ball club.
My wife's name is Alicia.
So we were neighbors. We grew up together, went to elementary, junior high, and high school together.
And at the time, we hated each other. You know, we used to call each other names, and then we went to high school together, and then all that changed.
The kids just love seeing Tony play ball.
My son is Anthony II, and he's 7. My daughter, Anisha, she's 4.
Tony, I would say, is a real dedicated father, a dedicated husband.
She gets real comfortable when I'm at home, and then when I leave, it's like, you know, now she's got to be the mom and the dad.
They're home, and then they're gone. They're home, and then they're gone again.
I think my wife loves basketball more.
The soft toss drill is a great tool to isolate any segment of your swing. For example, Casey's going to separate his stride from his swing. The person presenting the ball can place the ball either inside, outside, up or down, or wherever you want it. Here, Case, don't get your uni dirty. The one-knee drill restricts the use of your upper body. It lets you work on upper body mechanics only. The one-knee drill works basically on either the bottom hand or the path of the bat through the zone.
You'd be surprised how many major leaguers come into the plate, don't have any idea what the guy they're getting ready to face throws. I've had guys who played in the big leagues as long as I've played say, what does this guy throw?
Well, if I'm a pitcher and I'm facing Tony Gwynn, I know one thing, he's going to hit the ball.
He picks things up and has such a concentration level that other hitters don't have.
I've had guys who played in the big leagues as long as I've played say, what does this guy throw? And we faced this guy, you know, 10, 12, 14 times.
I don't think a guy goes up there and tries to strike Tony Gwynn out. You're asking for a little too much. Occasionally you might get lucky and do it, but I never looked at going up to the plate and strike him out.
I try to tell our pitchers to pitch low and behind him.
He's got all-around ability. He's one of the great to ever play the game.
Okay, let's talk timing. Now, timing depends on beginning your stride at a pitcher's release point. That's find his release point, the spot he lets the ball go, to start your stride. Now, when do you start looking for the ball? Well, don't follow the ball all the way through his windup. You'll be dizzy by the time it gets to you. I start by looking at his face, looking for clues, trying to find out, you know, maybe he might throw this or he might throw that. Then I move my eyes to the bill of his cap to rest until the ball gets to the release point. That way, my eyes don't have far to travel. What is a release point? Well, the release point is an imaginary box somewhere out here. I'm looking in that imaginary box trying to find his release point, trying to find the spot in which he's going to let go of the ball. And once I found that spot, that's when I'm going to start my stride, because I know now he's going to let the ball go.
Ooh. Practice is important. And one of the most important tools that you can use when you're practicing is a tee. The nice thing about a tee is, number one, it's inexpensive. Number two, you can use a tee to demonstrate every single pitch that comes into the zone, simply because you can move the tee and the ball any place in the zone that you want. Inside, over the middle of the plate, back in. A tee can be moved higher for tall hitters and maybe lower for shorter hitters. Now, a tee is something that you can even make at home. You can hang a sheet over a clothesline and hit into the sheet. You can put, if you can't afford to find little small balls like this or wiffle balls, you can put a pair of socks on top of a tee and hit those into a clothesline. Something that's very inexpensive, but a tee is something that can help you become a good hitter, and you can practice hitting every single kind of a pitch that's thrown.
The rest is up to you. Like Magic Johnson, or my favorite jazz artist, Kenny G, or Grover Washington Jr., you have to work hard and practice to do the best that you can do. There's no better feeling than being on top of your game. My goals, 3,000 hits and a World Series ring, and I intend to do it. Take care and play to win.
Action!
We're rolling, huh? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's cold out here. I'm hungry.
What about batting?
What about batting gloves?
Okay, I'll give it a crack.
Total baseball. Don't head one into your home without it. That's how it works.
I don't want to say that.
Take it for me, Tony Gwynn. Total baseball. Take it for me, Tony Gwynn. Total baseball in the field or on the plate or what is it again? I get it. Take it for me, Tony Gwynn. What?
Got good sunlight here too.
And the way it
Oh, he almost got it.
Can we do that again?
Go ahead.
Wow.
All right.
Kitchen time.
Okay, kids, stand by with this.
You've been watching Tony Gwynn's Total Baseball, Volume 1, The King of Swing.